you actually have explained it, I mean, in a great way, how psychotherapy and how long does the session take actually. But when recently I actually had a session I spoke with a mental health trainer. So she herself went into a depression, and then, that's how she became a mental health trainer. And that's how she trained people who were suffering, who were going through these problems. So she actually told me that, in normal lives, what the reason is that people normally have this idea of saying mental illness as mental health, whereas mental health is exactly as physical health, that everybody needs to be better at. Like, you need to be better at your physical health, exactly. In the same way, you need to be better at your mental health too. But when we speak about mental illness, we call it mental health. So you, as a psychiatrist, would you say that people are being a bit ignorant towards the kind of language that they're using?
Well, now see what happens is, one, understanding when, a particular dimension of your health is going towards abnormality is what we need to know. Like,
Mhm.
for an example, to put it in simpler words, sadness is a common emotion.
Mhm.
Sadness is a part of your brain.
Yeah.
I've given an exam and I didn't get the result that I expected. I feel sad. I cannot really celebrate. That would be abnormal if I start celebrating when I fail in my exam.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, the ability to cope up from that particular situation and move forward is exactly mental health. So, in any given situation, during a stressful life event, the ability to cope up and bounce back and move forward is, what defines an individual's mental health or a positive mental health. Now, when that individual is lacking that ability, and because of lack of that ability, if that individual is being dragged into the past, not letting him go forward, not letting him move away from there, and somewhere it starts affecting his entire system, starting from his biological functions like sleep and appetite, starting from his professional abilities like ability to focus, concentrate, ability to memorize things, ability to use his higher mental functions like judgment, like decision making, and somewhere it starts affecting his personal life. He's not able to have that emotional connect with his spouse, emotional connect with his family members. He's not able to have that physical relationship that he normally has with his spouse or a partner. Now, all these dimensions, when they start getting affected, then we call it as an illness. So,
Okay.
I do understand that uh, sometimes these mental illnesses are underrated, as well
Okay.
as sometimes normal emotions are overrated. Now, when I start feeling sad, somebody tells me, अरे यार तेरे को डिप्रेशन हो गया.
Yeah.
और जब मुझे सच्ची में डिप्रेशन होता है and I tell somebody I'm depressed, they're like, it's all fine. I was also depressed once upon a time.
Yeah, so you're basically saying that people are, in today's time, people are using words like depression, anxiety, OCD, at the drop of a hat. So people are,
Absolutely.
okay, so they should be more conscious about these things, and they should not use such, heavy words in their regular lives.
True. I mean, see, because depression is a diagnosis. Now,
Yeah.
what happens is, I'll try to explain. Suppose if I am feeling sad
Mm-hmm.
and I start telling somebody that I am depressed. I'm trying to say, suppose if I am sad and I call myself as having depression,
Mm-hmm.
and I meet somebody who's actually having depression.
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow, if I bounce back from that sadness and I'm all fine again, and I say I'm feeling better, now the other person might start feeling that his illness is way too serious because he's not able to be like me. And at the same time, uh, what happens is, somebody who's into sadness, for an example, the common things that I see, a youngster fails his an examination, feels
Mm-hmm.
sad for 2 days. Then one of his friend tells him, "Arey kuch nahi yaar, let's go have a drink." And now he has a drink, and there
Mm-hmm.
is some gyan that his friend gives him, and all of a sudden he starts feeling all overwhelmed, and he says, "Oh, I'm fine."
Mm-hmm.
And now the person who's actually depressed starts feeling that probably alcohol is the solution. So
Yeah.
somewhere there is a lot of danger in using these words, like you said, on the drop of a hat. And sometimes when we overuse these words, when someone really has that issue, we don't emphasize that issue. We just brush it off. And
Yeah.
that is also somewhere bad. So, sometimes, the whole Bollywood also, who stands up and speaks about mental health, use these words in their movies. Pagal hai kya? Pagalpanti. There was a movie called Mental Hai Kya, which was again, fought and, changed into Judgmental Hai Kya.
Judgment.
So, somewhere Bollywood, which looks like very supportive, also is very insensitive when it comes to mental health. The reason why I'm talking about them is they are, idealized by a lot of people. They are looked upon by a lot of people. So
So true.
somewhere responsible people should be using these words all the more careful, and every individual also should be educated about using these words, which makes mental health diagnosis and treatment much more smoother than what it is.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so true about the Bollywood and the Hindi cinema scenario. I think in today's time, people are using these conversations and raising these topics not just to spread the awareness, but also to make money and make business out of it. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Unfortunately, I see a lot of people with a YouTube degree and an Instagram degree also promoting mental health, and that's wrong. It's as wrong as, all of a sudden I tell somebody I'll cut open your stomach and I'll operate your intestines. When I'm not trained with it, I shouldn't be doing it, because the damage that I would be doing is more than the benefit.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, the thing is, apparently everyone is, aware and so much knowledgeable about mind and all these things. I think in today, especially in today's time, and especially, at the time of being in social media and being an influencer. So people have this thing about spreading gyan and telling people about you should do this, you should not do this. So they also have become the mental health coach and a psychiatrist apparently in today's time. So, but Dr. Virinchi, I also would like to know that, it is said that, I mean, is this what I am saying? I don't know if it is said or not, but I have actually heard it that psychiatrists can read mind. So can they?
We cannot really read the mind,
Okay.
but we can surely help somebody to express what's happening inside their head. Because now what happens is, especially during an illness, there is a lot of confusion that happens inside the brain, and because of that confusion, the clarity of thoughts are disturbed, emotions are unstable,
Yeah.
behaviors are erratic. So we can surely help them explain or express their underlying issues. We can surely make it a little more transparent for them that it is actually affecting their day-to-day life. Because a lot of times, somebody's quantitative life might not be getting affected, but the qualitative life gets affected.
Yeah.
So when it affects the quantity, it is easy to understand. But when it affects the quality, we might not be able to understand that. So
Mhm.
somewhere in that way, we step in to bring down that clarity into somebody's understanding of their illness. But surely reading minds is only a concept left to Netflix and Amazon.